Have you ever thought about what it's like being a parent with special needs children? And it's like, some people, you probably never thought about that before, but somebody, you probably could have just gotten some news, right? That, you heard like, hey, your child is going to have special needs, is going to have a special needs condition. And it's like, oh my gosh, what do you do? Or you may be on the other side, you may be on the outside looking in, and you look at people who have children with special needs and you say, man, I wonder what it's like, having children with special needs. Well, we're going to take you into that today. And we're going to have a two-part series to where in this series, we're going to be talking about the opportunities of being a special needs parent, having children with special needs. We're going to talk about what it's like, from the parent's perspective of having special needs children. And we're going to talk about the opportunities, and we're also going to talk about the challenges. But
yes,
in this video, we're going to talk about the opportunities of being a parent with special needs children. Mm-hmm. And so even to start off with you guys, just to let you guys know a little bit about who we are, right? I'm Joshua, this is Crystal. We've been married now for 7 years, and we have 2 children with a special needs condition. This is one of our sons. He's our youngest son. His name is Joseph. And we have our oldest son, which is Samson, and he's at school, by the way. So that's great. But
and we have our other son.
Yeah, we have our other. I was just talking about our children with special needs, and we do have another child right in the middle, and he's a typical child. But we have 2 children with special needs, and that makes us, I'll say, that gives us the credibility to talk about this topic. And not only that, because we got experience, right? So we've been a parent of a child and children with special needs for going now on 7 years. All right. And so we're just going to talk about a few of the opportunities, when it comes to being a special need parent. So the first thing that I would say truthfully, the biggest opportunity with being a parent of special needs children is we have a sense of purpose.
Yeah,
that's the biggest opportunity. Like, we have a profound sense of purpose, and our children give us they give us inspiration. They give us motivation for us to live and do better. Even in difficult times. I know throughout these past 6 years and some change, it gives us purpose because we know that our children are depending on us. And, having that purpose and having that responsibility, sometimes it can be difficult. And we'll talk about that with the challenges, right? But the good side of that, it's good to have responsibility. It's good to have someone that's dependent on you, that's counting on you. Because every single day that we wake up, it's like we're not only waking up for ourselves, right? We're not only waking up to achieve a certain goal that we have, or, we're not just waking up and getting out of bed just because life is going good, or, when life gets hard, we don't stay in the bed, because the reason why is we have a purpose. Kids, every single morning, like when we wake up, it's like we have someone and something to live for, literally, because our kids really depend on us
and
a
even
lot.
Exactly. And even when we have been going through our hard times and difficult times, we have children who gives us, like you said, inspiration, and it helps us to it motivates us to, like, when we see our children who they're in pain and they're hurting from their their condition, fractures and different things, they still have joy and they're still hopeful, they're still happy, and just to see them smiling and being a happy person, through in the midst of them being how they are and what they're going through, that gives us inspiration, that gives us hope, that gives us the motivation to be what, even though I'm going through my hard circumstance or whatnot, I can still find joy in it. I can still find hope and be happy and joyful and just being excited about just different things or whatever. But seeing our children in that state and seeing the joy that they have, it helps us to exemplify that as well.
And to push past, limitations, push past the difficult moments in life.
Exactly.
And even, the second opportunity, that we've experienced and that we see, of being a parent with special needs is, man, it's an opportunity for us to come closer together as a family, as husband and wife. It's been an opportunity for us to grow closer and have a really strong family bond. It really does allow for us to build a deeper connection, as a family. And, one thing that I love about this when it comes to building a stronger family bond is like Crystal, like as a whole entire family, we all depend on each other. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And I think it's great that we depend on each other, even from with Crystal, she has her role in the things that she do, that truthfully we can say like our family dynamic, is good, and it's gotten better because we all have a part to play on making our life be the best as possible. And so even from the very beginning, when Samson was born, right, and we was in a hospital, as far as our marriage did suffer, but as far as our family connection and how Crystal knew that I had her back and I knew that she had my back. But not only that,
so
our children, they see mommy and daddy, they work together, they work together for real to make this happen. And what that does for our children, right? It makes them, they see how mommy and daddy is working, and they know hey, mom and dad got our back. Mom and dad care for us. Mom and dad
we in
really
this
love
thing
us.
Together for real.
Even when things are not working good in our marriage, we always come to that resolve. We always come to the solution because we work harder together, because we know as a family, man, we can't break up because man, we need each other, and our kids need us.
Our kids need us, and they need us to be together. And so we just have to fight even harder. And I feel like, yes, absolutely having them is definitely that's an opportunity to make sure that we work on our marriage and make sure that we are, just being a good example to them of a healthy marriage, and just all the things that has to do with having our family dynamic be good and rather than broken, and just things that having brokenness to where in the future they'll grow up and look back and be like, dang, but I don't think they'll look back and be like that, because we're trying. We were there. And I mean, we've been here, and we just continue
not just
working
here,
together.
We here, putting in that work.
We working together, and it's hard work, but we're doing it every single day. So I feel like that's really a great opportunity. And another opportunity that comes from having our special needs children is that we have personal growth and personal development within ourselves. We want to be better people every single day, just because we know that we have our children who are looking up to us. We want to give examples of what it's like to be a spiritual person, or just different aspects of life. We want to make sure that we're doing good, and even personal, but financial, that goes into personal, and just different things. We want to make sure that we're good in all areas, and showing them that they can be good in whatever areas they choose to.
No, man, I definitely agree with that. When it comes to personal growth, man, it's really huge. And with us being parents, that's a great opportunity, because we know that we have to become better. You know what I'm saying? We have to do more. We have to grow. We have to learn more. I could just look back, I'll say at the very beginning of when we became parents of a special needs child, things changed quickly for us,
Extremely.
And we had to grow. We had to learn. We had to get better at, when it comes to taking care of children, learning how to take care of our child, I'll say when it comes to personal development and personal growth, for me as a man, I have to learn, how to be better, how to be better, because I have to be better, for my kids, because they need a lot, it's a lot of responsibility that we have. And so us as parents, as far as from a personal development side, we're constantly growing, because, we want to provide better for our kids. We want to give our children, a better life, so that even they have their disability and their condition, but we want to let them know hey, that's not going to stop you from becoming successful. That's not going to stop you, from being able to be great and successful in this life. And so it's that's a challenge, but I love it, because it's just man, would I be pushing myself this hard, if I didn't have special needs kids like me? And I focus on the finances and providing for my family, and it's been some been a transition to where, you know, I'm in the house and things like that. Like today I walked my son to school, right? You know, so I'm making some time to be in the home as a father, but like my main focus is providing for my kids and trying to build, you know, generational wealth. Like the Bible says, you know, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
Right.
And for me, like I'm focusing on all the ways that I can make my children's life better. And I don't think that I'll be, you know, grinding this hard and focusing this hard to where, you know, I really, really care about how I'm doing financially if I didn't have children with special needs.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I feel like even this fast, you know, like this early, and that's what someone actually asked me. She asked me that this, like last week, she was like, oh, do you think that like having the children that you have at such a young age helped you to grow and like be more mature? And I'm like, oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
like we like
have a choice.
exactly. We had to
you do
grow
have a choice,
up.
but
Yeah, we had to grow up and be like, take things more seriously, like way earlier than most people. Like we were 21 and 20 years old, and so it's just like, you know, at that age you're so young and like, you know, so you want to be immature and things, and but no, like we had to buckle up, get on all these different types of appointments, you with the finances and getting out of debt and all the different things, and it's just so much. So yes, we absolutely, like our personal growth has skyrocketed just because of the children that we have.
Yeah, and I mean, even talking about personal growth, you know, like another opportunity with being a parent of special needs children is the fact that, man, like it's an opportunity for spiritual growth.
Right.
And the reason why I say this is because it's a challenge as well, but it's an opportunity for spiritual growth. You know, the chance to grow spiritually, it allowed us to deepen our faith and find strength and purpose and to know God on a greater level, because like truthfully, how we've came this far because of our belief with God. We came this far, you know, because of God giving us strength, you know, and our weakness. Yeah, and we didn't give up because, you know, we kept the faith and we're continuing to believe, you know, in God, and we're growing in our faith. And like one of the things that I'll say is with us, like from a spiritual level is, you know, before we had our children with special needs, before we had our children with special needs, like our relationship with God, like it was good, you know?
Yeah, I was about to say, it kind of felt like fairy tale-ish.
It was really like, you know, like
everything was
all
you know, everything bubbly, was good. Roses, butterflies, and everything's just all perfect and amazing.
Not perfect, but
not perfect, but I'm saying it wasn't just like like, you know, how it's been.
Yeah, how it's been to where like we're intentional about our spiritual growth, like because we have to be, and like it's like this opportunity, it just allowed for us to know God on a greater level, right? It allows us to grow in our faith, because when we look back, like from the very beginning, we wouldn't be where we are today, you know, if we didn't have, you know, faith in God. And if we didn't have hope, knowing that like, hey, like God is the God of all hope, like God is the God of all peace. And I know that he's going to bring us through. Like, see, I'll be honest with you guys, like it's with our faith in reading the word of God and praying, even though like this still is a challenge, and we'll talk about that in our other video, but it's a good opportunity that we can, you know, persevere, that we can persist into prayer even when we don't believe like God is a healer. But it shows us how in different ways, you know, we have a different perspective, you know, because it's like, you know, God is a healer. Like God is a healer. Yeah. But, you know, like what does healing look like with God?
Does it look like?
It allows us to really ask a lot of questions that we never asked about our faith.
Or that we would never have asked. Or like other people probably don't ask. You know, it gives us like a lot more to like to deep dive.
To deep
dive into our faith and into God and the things of God and stuff. Like,
because it's like those questions, you know, I don't know if you guys know about like apologetics and things, but it's, you know, it's like the defense of, you know, your faith. Like when it comes to, you know, asking these questions, being able to answer questions when it comes to like, why do you believe in God, right? Like, why do you believe that, you know, Jesus, he came, he died for our sins, and, you know, he rose again, and all of that stuff is, you know, it's all of those questions. And as a believer, it definitely has helped me to be able to seek those questions out, you know. But even as well, like, you know, I have a desire to learn more about God, and I have a desire to pursue God on a greater level, you know, because it's like, it's hard, but it's like, I want to know God more, because only God knows the answers. Only God has the answers to the problems and the things that we go through. Only God knows what we're going through, like, like in the deep parts of our life. Like, and so, like, just building our relationship with God, man, it's been challenging, but this has been a great opportunity for us to, grow in our faith and to learn more.
I kind of touch on like joy and everything, but like just to experience like joy in the small things, and just being able to celebrate like the milestones that they have achieved like at their time. Because sometimes we'll go like before like at the very beginning, we didn't know what type of milestones like our children or Samson would be able to experience or to hit or whatever. So it's like when he did start to hit the milestones, we're like, oh my, like it just makes it like a thousand times more like enjoyable, and like we're more grateful during those times. Like, wow, because for one, I didn't know if you ever would be able to do this, and then for two, it's like we didn't know when you would be able to do this if you were. So it's like having that like. So it's like having him to hit those milestones, or even him, Joseph, hitting the milestones too. It's just like, wow, like it just makes it like the small things are way bigger than, like when, like with them rolling on the floor. Really. For one example, like whenever they roll on the floor or scoot on
around,
the floor, it's like, that is so amazing. And like for like, it might seem so small, but like for us, like that's a huge deal. Like Samson, it took a long time for Samson to learn how to do certain things. So it's like when he finally does it, we're like, oh yay! Like it's just it's a celebration. Even Joseph, and like he's hitting things like a little bit faster. So it's just like it's even more amazing. Like, wow, like you're doing these things so fast, and it's just a different experience for sure.
Yeah, it really is, man. And I can say, just being able to experience, like true joy and happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like the true joy and happiness in the small, minute things. It's amazing. Like I can definitely say it's amazing, because like, on the days where it's like, hey man, we may not have this, we may not have that, things may not be where we want them to be, but just being able to like, man, for my son to just say, hey daddy, how you doing?
Talking. Oh my God.
Or like just being able to just see my son smile. Like it's been really, really amazing. And even to go along with that though as well, it's like another opportunity, with being a special needs parent, is the fact like we gain new perspective. Like we gain a brand new perspective on a lot of things in life, and especially, the perspective that our children give us, helping us to appreciate the little small things and like finding beauty in unexpected ways, finding the good in challenging moments. Like, it has definitely allowed for us to have a different mindset when it comes to facing difficulties. Like we have a totally different mindset on like facing challenges, facing trials, because with going through all the challenges and all the trials that we have went through, like, man, like when it comes to our patience, having more patience, being able to endure, being able to persist, being able, to really push ourselves in difficult moments, like our perspective on like life challenges, it has changed. And I think that is really good, because it gives us not only a perspective on trials, but like, man, the love that we have for people, right? The kindness that we show towards others, like our heart for people, man, it's like the way we are as far as what our perspective on life and our perspective on a lot of things has changed for the better, because of us having, children with special needs.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And another thing that I would say is just like the community aspect, like being able to develop relationships with certain, like different kinds of people. That has been a blessing as well. Like at first, like people would come to our house, and just like doctors, nurses, and just different type of people. They'll come to our homes, and at first it was like overwhelming. But then it's like, you know what? I actually have time to, just talk to other people rather than feeling alone and feeling like I don't have, anyone to be a part of.
That boy is going wild, y'all.
He's so funny.
Go ahead.
But like feeling like I have someone else to talk to rather than just being alone. And like for instance, like we used to do, there'll be people coming to our house and just doing like, what is it called? Like just activities
Therapy
and
and
stuff. Yeah, therapy and different activities with Samson and even Joseph now. But like having those people, so I don't always just have to talk about the condition or talk about all the struggles, but those type of people, they come in and they want to just talk about me. They want to talk about like, you know, get my mind off of everything that I'm already going through and stuff. So it's just like, wow, like being able to develop relationships with people and
he biting
so
his sock,
funny.
y'all.
Okay, being able to develop relationships with people and, you know, just get to even meet new people and just like one thing about the organizations and even different families and stuff, but they have it in their hearts to just give to us and they love on us, and they don't do it out of pity and out of, oh, I feel so sorry for you, but they do it out of pure love and compassion. And that's something that we can truly appreciate, because we know that, like, well, for me, I know for sure I didn't want anybody pitying me. So it's just like, thank God for those people who come in and they genuinely love us, and our friends and our families and everybody who prays for us and continually, you know, like just show us love, and they don't look at us crazy or like we're so, like, because we know we are different, but they don't like make us feel bad or make us feel any kind of way for being different. So I feel like that's a huge opportunity that we have as well.
To receive support, man.
Yeah.
And like, I think even to add to like receiving support is, man, the fact of like, man, being able to really like just see how God cares about us through others, you know? And like, I can definitely say it was times to where like, man, it's like we're able to see how God works and how God moves through other people by just, you know, on some of our difficult days where we get a phone call, like for example, Crystal, difficult day where she don't feel like cooking and she get a phone call that says, hey, I'm going to go come by and bring y'all some food. It's like God sees us, you know what I'm saying?
Because that happened last week.
It's like, and you know, that's why I said that, because that's even been recent. But then even at times to where, you know, people just call and say, hey man, I just want you to know that I'm praying for you and your family, and I'm praying for you. Or hey man, you know, do you want to talk about anything? How's everything going? How's everything going? Like, that's a blessing, you know, being able to really receive support. Like, you know, for me personally, like I've never been that person to really like asking for help or, you know, getting help, because just from my personal experience, how I grew up was always needing to have help from other people. And so it was really, at first it was difficult for me, because it was just like, I don't want to be this person they need help. But then along the way, I've learned, like, man, it's a blessing to be able to receive the support and to receive the help, to help, you know, life be better, and to help, you know, man, things just be good. So I definitely,
because I'm the same way. It's like, I don't want nobody helping. I don't need your help and all the things, but it is a blessing. Like, regardless of how we feel, put a pride to the side and all those things. Like, it really does feel good to feel supported.
Feel good to just receive that support. And like, I say that's a great opportunity, that like being a parent with special needs, like you will receive some extra support, man. You receive extra love, you receive extra care, you know, and like I definitely love that. And like, you know, like lastly, the opportunity with being a special needs parent is the fact that, man, like like me and Crystal are able to advocate, you know, for families and for children with special needs, to bring awareness, you know, the chance to become advocates, you know, for our children and for others, and just raising awareness overall, you know, and understanding like about, you know, special needs, because like this isn't something that's broad, right? It's something that, you know, is different, right? And for me and Crystal to like, you know, just be people to talk about, you know, these details about, you know, raising kids with special needs, or just even talking about special needs in general, and, you know, bringing awareness, it does make me feel good, you know?
It does make us feel good.
Like, because...
Did you want me to talk?
No, you good. Yeah, no, you good. like it makes us feel good because that goes along with having a purpose, right?
Right,
Like
yeah.
advocating,
True.
like like even though people have disabilities, they're not no different,
Yeah, they're
they
still people.
yeah,
They
they're
just
still
wear
people,
their
they're still
differences
human.
on the outside of them rather than on the
Yep,
inside. Like
uh-huh.
all of us, we all try to hide our imperfections and things. They just wear theirs on the outside. And so I feel like I love that part of like being able to say that for them and for others who others who look and like are like them, like they are still people and all that
Yeah,
at the
they're
end of the
still
day. So
people. They
it
still
feels
need
good to
love. They still
advocate.
need
Yeah.
attention. They still need to be cared for. And like, and we can talk about, I will talk about this with the challenges, but like just seeing how, people with special needs are treated. Like for me, I personally, of course, I don't like that. But then for me
Yeah.
to be able to use my voice and for us to use our story and share, all the things about our family, I love that because it makes a difference for the next family that, for the other parents that have children with special needs. It makes a difference for that child who has a special needs condition, for somebody to step up for them, to give them a voice, to let them know like, hey, no, you're not a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not a mistake. We are not, like, our kids are not a mistake, man. They're here for a reason, and God has given us a purpose. Like, man, to be able to fight for this, for equality, like, when it comes to people having disabilities and special needs conditions, that they should be treated as a human being, that they shouldn't be cast off, or be like, hey, let's forget about them. Let's put them in a corner. Let's cut them off.
Exactly. Let's not show them. And even I was just, thank you, baby.
go ahead.
Let's go perfectly into what I was going to say. Even with that, it's like, we're able to show our family and on social media or in person, taking our children to church and things. Like a lot of people, like special needs people or like people that have special needs children, they rather be secluded because of the world that doesn't accept them. So being an advocate and showing our family on social media, even though we get scrutiny, even though we get like negative comments and all the things, like we're still showing other families that it is okay to be yourselves and be like, have your children. It's okay, and just accept that call and accept your children for who they are, for who God has created them to be. So being an advocate is like, that is such an opportunity for us, and we don't take it lightly. At first we were kind of scared and we were on the fence about like sharing and different things, but like it's just unfolded to this whole different world where not everyone, but there's so many messages that we get. There's so many comments that we get that is like uplifting, and it helps them to know that, like we said, like basically the advocacy, like it helps them to know that it is okay for them to have their children and to share their children as well.
Yep. And like, these are just a few of the opportunities, that we've been experiencing, that we see, like when it comes to, being a parent of special needs. And for those of you, right, specifically who are special needs parents, really think about, all the things that, think about all the opportunities that we share today. But even, more specifically for the parent, for the mom, for the husband and wife that just found out, like, hey, they say I'm gonna have a special needs child. You might be thinking like, I don't know, I don't know if I want to move forward with this, or I don't know how that's going to be. And you may be scared, but I do want to let you know, coming from, me and Crystal, with us having, almost 7 years of experience, with raising children with special needs, I want you to know that you're going to be okay. Yes, it's going to be some challenges, but I want you to know that it's a lot of opportunities for you to grow. It's a lot of opportunities, a lot of good opportunities for you. With having children with special needs. And yeah, it may be difficult, but even just going forward with that, I want you to know, like, God is going to be with you through your journey. God is with you even now, and he's going to bring you through. And I guarantee you're going to look back like me. I look back and I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my wife, because like, man, we were little kids, right? We were immature and like just young and not knowing stuff. But now like we're wise people, man. Like we have experience, like, we got wisdom, we've grown in a lot of areas in our life. And I just know that, we wouldn't be who we are today if it wasn't for our special needs children. And so like, I just encourage you, if you're scared, you can be scared. It's okay to be scared, but I want you to know that, you're gonna go through, you when you go through, like, you're gonna see all the great things that come from,
Right.
making the decision, to continue on with your pregnancy. You know what I'm saying?
continue
Or making the decision to
keep
not be
parenting,
afraid for those families who felt like us years ago, being timid and scared to go out in public. Like, you're gonna see how, man, once you overcome, like, you're gonna see, like, man, you're gonna overcome a lot of things. You're gonna become stronger. You're gonna become wiser. You're gonna become smarter. And man, like, it's just so much opportunity,
It's so much opportunity
for growth in your life. And we just hope that, this video encourage you. And we
Yes.
hope even for people who don't have special needs kids, like, I just pray, that you became more aware of just some of the, opportunities that we have and that people have when they have children with special needs. But stay tuned as well for the next video
part
that
2.
we're posting, where we're going to talk about the challenges, right? We're going to talk about some of the challenges with being a parent of children with special needs.
So we hope that this blessed you. We hope that you got something from it, and we hope that you guys leave us a comment down below, just sharing your experience if you have special needs children, or sharing your thoughts on this topic if you don't have special needs children. And we also want you to share this with a few friends and just let them know that you're thinking of them if you know anybody with special needs children. So we will see you guys in our next video. Peace out.